Good morning. Well, didn't exactly plan this. This was kind of spur of the moment, so nobody's here yet. Good morning, Deer Creek. How you doing this morning? What's the temperature up your way? So what's the crisis? Showed my coffee cup? Cold, frost on the pumpkins for sure. Yeah, they're saying we could get frost by the end of the week here in Kentucky. That was my last cup of coffee that I had creamer for. That's a problem. Oh, it's been a little bit crazy here. Good morning, Raven's Nature. You're up. Well, yeah, of course you'd be up. It's after 8 o'clock. Of course. Yeah, isn't that a big problem? Oh, man, I tell you. It has been a crazy, crazy week. Raven's Nature Family Farm, she knows some of it. So I sent her an email. But I haven't had time to do any editing, so there hasn't been a video up. And so I was like, this is crazy. I got to let people know what's going on. Oh, my. It's just been busy, for one thing. Well, thing is, I was taking my son to a specialist appointment in Lexington last week. And we got on the road, and I could not get the Pathfinder up past 35 miles an hour. It wouldn't do it. It just wouldn't do it. And we thought at first we got bad gas. So we got some heat, put that in there. My son ended up having to reschedule his appointment. So, so we put the heat in it, and that's supposed to work fairly quickly. No, didn't help at all. Didn't help at all. So, okay, something's not right. So I gave it a full 24 hours, and then I took it to a mechanic. And first of all, he couldn't even get the computer to come on with his, when he plugged it into the car, he couldn't get the computer to come on. And so I said, well, let me take it for a drive. So he's a mechanic. I'm not a mechanic. I'm just a mechanic's daughter. And it had been many years since my father had worked as a mechanic. So anyway, so he comes back and he says, it's not gas related, it's the transmission. I said, great. Now, I had bought the thing from my brother a few years back, and the reason that I did was because he had just had a rebuilt transmission installed. So I figured, okay, that issue was taken care of. Yeah, right. So anyway, asking around, I thought, well, maybe it's just a little problem that can be fixed real quick. There was another mechanic in there that in the town that everybody around here says, oh, he can fix anything. He can fix anything. And they were thinking that, there's other people suggest these other little things to do with the transmission that are pretty much easy fixes. And they said, this other mechanic, he can fix anything. Well, he was closed on Friday. Okay, fine. I knew that. Knew he wasn't open on Friday. Showed up there Monday morning, and there was a sign on his door that he was closed on Monday morning and that he'd be back Tuesday. So, so I drove it down there to talk to him yesterday. Oh, and in the meantime, of course, we got some glorious rain. All of my rain barrels are full. Every one of them. Full to overflowing. So we are good for water. I haven't been able to check the well yet, but I'm pretty sure that's come up a bit. So we're doing good for water. And so anyway, back to the car. I talked to him, and he tells me, well, he's not a transmission guy, but he asked me questions. I give him answers. He did find a fuse that was blown, and so he could get his computer up. Okay, so he did that. There was no idiot lights on. There was no codes that came up. There was one code actually that came up, but he said it wasn't. The code indicated that it wasn't a problem, but it was a developing problem. So that was not what was going on. And so he talked to, he called another guy that he knew, transmission guy. Okay. And talked to him a little bit, and they're pretty sure that the transmission it needs a replacement. So he did give me the name of another guy who's semi-retired, doesn't do a lot, but he's really good with transmissions. And he gave me his number, and I called him yesterday. And not good. He said, call and find out how much it is for a rebuilt transmission, which I did. $2,300. It's a little bit more than what I was expecting. Price of having it installed, about $450. That's nearly $3,000. So decision-making time. What do we do? Okay. Well, there's been some discussion over financial matters between myself and my husband. Okay. Slight differences of opinion of what to do. He's got full control right now of the money because everything's in his name right now. Okay. The farm stuff is mine, but the other stuff is his. So he finally woke up. He said, we don't have a choice. He decided he's got a couple of retirement accounts. Okay. One is very, very small. Very small. But there's enough in it that we could get a new to us used vehicle. Okay. So he got the phone number last night to contact the people, and so he's supposed to call them today to find out what he needs to do to get the money. And so we're going to be getting a new vehicle. Now, do you have a video on the rain barrels? Not yet. Well, it's been so crazy with trying to deal with the truck issue and a few other things. I did take a few pictures, but I haven't done a video on them yet. But there will be video coming. It's just a matter of, getting it done. I'm also been trying to push when I can to try and get the guinea coop finished. I've got one more wall left to build. Okay. And I also got tin for the roof. So, so I've been focusing on trying to get that done because we've got some cold weather coming in this weekend. So anyway, my pastor shows up yesterday. I tell you, living in a small town area is wonderful. Really, it is. I had sent a text to his wife about situation with the vehicle. Okay. Kind of like hoping that maybe they might know somebody that would know somebody that either can help fix it or connect us with a cheaper vehicle. Okay. Networking. That's all that is networking. So, anyway, they showed up here last night. And what's funny about that is that I had just been out here busting pallets. Okay, so because I needed the wood to finish build that last wall. Yeah, and the guineas are going nuts, absolutely nuts. And it's the alarm call. I've had them here long enough, and I recognize the alarm call. There's a I'm here by myself. Where are you guys? Kind of call, and calling to each other. And then this is definitely an alarm call. They were panicked about something. So I go out there, and they're huddled in the brush up on the hill. And it's like, what are you guys freaking about? There's nothing around here. And I climbed up the hill, go up above them to see if I can see, making sure that there's still 9 guineas and that one hadn't been picked off by a dog or something. And next thing I know, here's this SUV coming up the road. It's like, okay, I wasn't expecting anybody. So it's the pastor and his wife coming up. And okay, cool. He had been here before. You remember the cement, round cement livestock watering trough that I had back by the pond? He was here before when the well had virtually dried up, and was trying to, and he brought me some water. And he went up there and looked at the pond and everything. And he said, okay, you've got plenty of water in the pond. I knew that the pond had dropped. The water level was definitely lower. So I was afraid to let the horses up there or anything like that. Okay, or even use the water. Because I didn't know how deep it was. Well, he said, yeah, it's a lot deeper than what you thought. A lot deeper. He knew. He's a farmer. He's a cattle farmer. Okay. And he's got one of those things at his place. And so he knows these things. I didn't have a clue. And he said, get yourself a hose, get it out there, siphon it, and you can run it down to the cement water, and you'll have water for the horses. Awesome. So I had gotten a float, one of those livestock tank floats, and I got that hooked up. And yeah, I took video of it, and there's going to be a video of it. And I got that hooked up, and I ordered a 100-foot hose. I wanted to make sure I had plenty of hose, okay, because it's got to go in the pond, up the hill, and down the hill even further. Okay. So the I could not get the thing to siphon. I tried a couple of ways, and I just couldn't get it. I'm used to a much smaller hose, because that's how I get the water out of the barrels here, is I use a siphon. So the birds are distracting me here. So he gets, let's go back and take a look at it. I told him, he asked me if I got to go, and I said, no, I haven't got to go, but I got a hose down there and everything. So I tell you, this guy, right now, this bank of the pond is quite steep. Okay. And I was so afraid he was going to end up head first in the pond. And he was dressed to go to a meeting. Okay. So he starts messing with the hose, and I had one of the tree trunks I had saved. They're trying to push the hose down, and he said, I gotta get the water out of it and get the air bubbles out. And so he started fishing it down there, and it took him maybe about 20 minutes, I think. But he finally did get it. He got the hose full of water in the pond, siphon, and then he goes, look out, I'm going to run it down the hill. He goes running down the hill. And he hooks it up. First of all, he gets it running, and to begin with, it's kind of gunky, okay? And the water's just kind of gunky. That's part of it. But then after just about a minute or two, it starts running clear, okay? Awesome, because I was afraid that it was going to get all clogged up with gunk from the bottom of the pond. But I guess it must not have settled at the very bottom. I don't know. So he after he gets it running and starts running clear, then he hooks it up to the float that I had installed. So now we have water. I took Honey there last night and showed her it was water. She had a drink, and then she hightailed it back to the barn because that's where Deeza was. So Honey knows where there's water. And I also sat there later on because it was filling the whole thing, and to make sure that the float that I had it set up right, and it did shut off, and it did shut off. Awesome. So we have water. We no longer have to lug buckets of water for the horses. So that's awesome. So that's good news. And the pastor and his wife, we were talking about a whole bunch of things. Okay. And he made another discovery on the property that I did not know was there. It's a good thing I may talk about that later on. But they know a guy in the church who picks up junkers from time to time, and he, fiddles with them and gets them working good, and then he sells them. Okay. And it just so happens that his latest project is a pickup truck. So I've got to text pastor's wife this morning and get the phone number, because I forgot to get the phone number of the guy yesterday when they were here. But like I said, they were on their way to a meeting. They had a meeting to go to. Because they're involved in all kinds of things, farm related. They're involved with Cattlemen's Association. They're involved with conservation thing, I think. I don't know. They're involved in all kinds of things farm related. So they have been a very valuable resource for me, among others. They've pointed me in the other thing. How long have you been on the property? We've been here for a year, about a year and a month. Okay. So that's all. And Deer Creek, I don't know if you saw my earlier videos where I showed what the property was like. If you get a chance, you can go back and look at them. There was nothing here. There had been a house here at one point, okay? And there had been a fire, and the property had been foreclosed on, and the real estate agent who was handling the property for the bank, she came and she inspected the building that was left here, and she said, just tear it down. It's not worth even, including that with the property. It's just, it wasn't any good. So they tore it down. So we never saw it. They did some bulldozing, and unfortunately, what they did is when they bulldozed the thing, they kind of destroyed the landscape of it, kind of. I uncovered some stone stairs that we use now to come up to the cabin. There's another set of stone stairs that I need to finish working on. It's just right now it's not a priority. Right now I have other things that are a priority. And there's a bunch of things that we discovered after we got on the property. And we had the cabin brought in. It's one of those, Amish type sheds they advertise. I like the design of it. It's like a log cabin, and it's got a metal roof, I definitely wanted a metal roof. Okay. I did other sheds that had shingles and they were cuter and stuff, but I wanted the metal roof. It has a second story. So, that's why we went this route. It was quick, and I figured I could do pretty much most of the stuff in there myself. So the only thing that was on the property when we got here was the power pole. So I knew we would not have that expense to hook up electricity. And I definitely wanted to have electricity because at the time, my father was going to be living with us. So I had to have the electricity for him. Okay. Unfortunately, he passed away 3 weeks after we moved here. And that's another whole story. I talk about that in other videos too. And I'm not going to get into that now. That I have no regrets. Okay. This is what he wanted. So since he was no longer with us, we figured, okay, rather than living in the rental place and trying to fix up this place at a distance, because we could handle roughing it a bit, we just moved onto the property, saved us the money of the rental, and it's been rough, but it's what you do. We figured we had the well. I knew that there was a well on the property because there was already a house here at one time. We figured the infrastructure was basically here. Well, it's a little bit different environment here. There was no public records of certain things. I mean, the power pole was easy. I mean, it's sticking up. Okay, it's right there. Okay, but everything else is kind of like there's no real records because the records only go back so many years, and there had been people living on this property beyond that, so we don't know what they did. And we've just been learning the property as we go. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent here about history. A lot of this stuff is covered in previous videos. But so what's happening now is our water situation is improved. We've had rain. Water barrels are full. The livestock tank is hooked up to the pond with an automatic float so that I don't have to lug water anymore. So those two things are good. The Pathfinder is virtually dead in the water. And because of that, I'm out of creamer for my coffee. So that's my crisis right now. And I mean, I can drive the thing in first or second gear, but that's it. I can only go like 30 miles an hour. And people don't really appreciate being behind someone who's driving at 30 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone. So I am not driving it. Hoping that once I get the phone number from this guy from our church that buys junkers and fixes them up and sells them, I'm hoping that within a few days we'll have a new vehicle, because I need groceries. My pantry is about empty. Things are really, because we couldn't get anywhere. So hopefully within a day or two, we'll have another vehicle here. I'm hoping. And a pickup truck, which is what we need anyway. I mean, hey, the Pathfinder's been great. Some coffee creamer. Yes, please. Someone bring me coffee creamer. Half and half. Hey, I'll take heavy cream. I just need to use less of it, right? Yeah. That is a major, major problem. I made sure the last time we went to the grocery store, I made sure I got coffee. Okay. I got the coffee. I just forgot the coffee creamer. It's a disaster. So things are like, it's just been crazy the last week and a half. I still have to make a phone call today to see if I can get a transportation for my son, because he has an appointment tomorrow in town. So, oh, I know what you mean. I appreciate that, Becky. I really do. You're so close yet so far. But I think I'll live. It'll be touch and go, but I think I will make it. Oh, by the way, I don't know if this is this is another thing I wanted to cover with this live stream is Prepsteader Bob is coming. Prepsteader Bob and Mrs. B with the Self-Reliant Roadshow are coming here. He's going to be emailing me the exact date. I know he's got to be in New Hampshire on the 12th. And I do believe, unless something comes up between then and when he gets, I think that I'm his next stop here in Kentucky. So he's got a long haul. Having driven that route before, okay, or similar, because my husband's Canadian, so we've made that trip many times, okay. I do not expect him before the 19th. I just don't expect him. Yeah, he could haul butt and get here faster, but hopefully he doesn't, because that is a hard, and he's driving quite the rig. So no, I really hope that he's not here before the 19th. And we'll see. As soon as I have a date, y'all will hear about it. Now, I was asked about if there was going to be a meet and greet or something like that while he's here. That is a distinct possibility. This will not turn into an annual thing. This will be just a one-time thing. Okay, because I don't do well with that kind of thing. But if things work out with his timing and everything, because I have no idea how long he's even going to be here, I will definitely put it out there, and anybody who wants to come, you'll have to email me so I can tell you how to get here, okay? Because if I put my address out there, for one thing, you won't find me. If I put the address out there, you will not find me. But I can tell you what to punch into. Oh, the birds are here. Nobody asked for your 2 cents. Really, honestly. Go find some bugs. Go find some bugs. Go on, go find some bugs. You're staring me down. I already gave them millet. Okay. He doesn't try to come up Highway 89 to get to your place. Yes, I know. Oh, I know. I told him, because where he's coming from, to come through Manchester. That would be the better approach, to come down into Manchester. I've driven up that way north of Manchester, and granted, I haven't gone all the way to the Kentucky border, but I believe that would be a much easier approach for him to come through Manchester. So, but yeah, I was on 89 at one point. When our first visit down here to Kentucky, GPS took us on 89, and I was driving a rental, okay? And it's like roller coaster city, you know? It's like, whoa. I was like white knuckling at the steering wheel. Yeah. So, yeah, I tell everybody, don't go 89. Don't go 89. Yeah, I know. That was my first and only time of going in 89. I don't care if I had to go 100 miles out of my way. I was not going to go in 89 again. You want a thrill? If you're a thrill seeker, go on 89. Okay? I'm too old for that. I don't even do roller coasters. Okay? No. So he definitely is not. Yeah. Don't do 89. So, Is a hen laying? No, that's the guineas. I don't have I don't have chickens yet. Hopefully, by spring I will. If I can get the chicken coop done, first of all, the guinea coop's got to get done. Okay, because they need a better place for winter. So, now the guineas like to talk to me. They see me, they think they want me to throw some seed out. So, sound like a guinea now? Yeah. So, I'm hoping if we can get fence done to have goats here by the end of October, by the end of this month. So long as we don't have any more crises come up. Oh, I love driving. That's what I did. I used to drive, for a living. And I loved it. I seriously looked into getting my Class A license and going OTR. But there is a lot of other factors to it besides driving. And so after careful consideration, I decided to not pursue it. But yeah, but I enjoy the driving. I'm definitely a driver. Now, but 89 was my limit. That was no. So anyway, I covered, I talk about squirrels, huh? Oh, in my case, it's guineas. Oh, they decided I wasn't going to feed them. They took off. Yeah. Talked about the water for the horses. Talked about the rain barrels, the well. Everything's good water-wise. The only thing we got to figure out is water to the house. Okay. We need water to the house, to get running water in the house. Hopefully that's one thing I'm hoping that I can go over with Prep Starter Bob when he gets here, is the best approach to doing this, because there's other factors involved here. One of which is there's cost share program through the conservation office, and it has to do with rainwater catchment. So, and I thought it was a 50-50. No, it's a 75-25. So if we can kind of like put up with this, I can't apply until December, because there was no way I was going to have the barn roof finished in time for this last application time, which I think that might have been the meeting they were going to last night. But so I'm looking at applying in December. So yeah, that puts us going into winter. And I don't know how long the application process is when you get approval. But the representative, the field representative from the conservation office that was here, he said I have a really good shot at it. So that would be the best use of my funds, is to go that route, because then any money I get back is still applied to the infrastructure of the farm. There's a lot of things I still need to get done. I said fencing is a big deal right now. A lot of my single wire fence that I put up for the horses is down and not working, because I have not had the time to be able to get out there and check fence lines and whatnot. And I've had deer coming through. So it really needs to be beefed up for goats. It's still working for the horses, because once they get bitten by that fence, they won't go near it. I can put up just a plain old rope. If they see a rope that's never had electricity in it, they won't go near it. So for the horses, it's still working, because it's a mental thing. But goats will still test. So I've got to make sure I get a decent fence line up for goats. Still mostly doing 5-strand electric wire, but it's got to be good. Okay. I got to clear away brush and trees and whatnot along the fence line. I got to make sure that it's not going to get knocked down like the horse fence has. So I'm not doing the whole area where I had the horses initially. I'm initially doing the lower pastures. I'm not getting a whole huge herd of goats. What a lot of people do, and I've seen this, is they go whole hog when they first get on their property and get all these things, chickens and horses. Well, no, that not horses. Okay. But goats and sheep and cows and what, and they get overwhelmed. Okay. Been there, done that. Not doing that again. Okay. That's why you don't see chickens on my property yet. That's why you don't see goats on my property yet. The only reason why guineas are here is because we had major ticks. I needed to get them taken care of. And the guineas are mostly free range. Okay. But I still wasn't quite as ready as I wanted to be for the guineas. But I managed. I've got a small coop where I can put them up at night, lock them in, and they're safe from predators. Okay. So we're mostly, I still lost 7, but that was when they were free ranging. Okay. So, and I had honey begin with, and the other horses was given to me as a companion for, because you don't want to have a horse by themselves. Honey would have been a basket case. So that's why there's 2 horses here because I already had them. Okay. And the guineas are here because we had the tick issue. They had a job. Okay. But anything else in the way of livestock, I don't have, because I don't have the infrastructure ready. And you got to have the infrastructure ready before you have the chickens, before you have the goats, before you have anything else. Okay. And I don't have it. And I know that. So as much as I wanted them, as soon as we moved here last year, I knew I couldn't. I had to have a barn, because I have to have someplace safe where I can store the feed and the hay. Okay. We have been on our homestead about 7 months, started with chickens, rabbits, and quail. Yeah. Did you have your rabbit cages and your quail hutches and your chicken coop? You got that all taken care of initially? We have had so many things come up. Awesome. Yeah. Build the hog pen before you get the hogs. But yes, there you go. We had so many setbacks from the time that we first moved here. The delay in the cabin being delivered. The passing of my father. My husband's surgery. My son's medical issues that developed. And all these things, they just set us back. So that's why these things are not done yet. Because I'm sorry, but these other things took priority. So what are you going to do? It is what it is. And you just do the best you can, as you can. So, but in the meantime, it hasn't been wasted time. I have learned the property. I've made connections locally. Everybody talks about community. Community is so very important. They are such resources. Initially, I don't know what I would have done without my golden neighbor. I've mentioned about my golden neighbor, who, he bush hogged for me, and he bulldozed for me, and he did all these things. And he's given me, advice and direction, because he knows the area. He knows people, and he knows, the farming thing. But he's not the only one. I've had other people that I've made contact with that have, given me information and advice and knowledge My pastor who came, you know, yeah, it's exactly, Becky. You can only do so much, you know, and these things crop. You just, you know, it is what it is. You got to deal with it, right? Yeah, I know. That's why. Hey, I know exactly what you mean. You wish you had been able to do that like months ago, right? And it's just stuff comes up, and you have to, you know, push your plans back a little further. And you know, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? You know, I wish I was in a position to help you guys more. At this point, I'm not. Maybe in the future, I may be. You know, when you, yeah, exactly, Deer Creek, exactly. You know, it is so very important. Oh, giddy up, gal. Good morning. Welcome. 34-inch Cartwright, North Dakota. Woohoo. Oh, 34 degrees. Sorry about that. I'm trying to read the. Yeah, 34 degrees. It's a little bit chilly. Just a tad bit. Exactly, Becky. Exactly. We're supposed to be getting, did you see on the weather this morning? They're talking frost by the end of the week. Our first frost. Now, the wonderful thing about frost is it kills the budding bugs, mosquitoes, flies, whatever else is out there that bites you. They're gone. I love the first frost, as long as it's a hard frost, because sometimes if it's just a light frost, you know, it doesn't really, you know, do much. But a hard frost will definitely, that's it, they're done. The only drawback is the stink bugs, because they managed to get in the house, and it's another story. Anybody else getting stink bugs? Yeah. I'm looking forward to the cooler weather because it's easier to work, and hopefully I can get things done faster. Once we get the situation taken care of with their vehicle, hopefully I can get rolling, you know? Yes. Yep, that's the wonderful thing about it. I'm so looking forward to that. Distinct bugs, yes. Oh, they're so annoying. Oh, but I've been scooping them up in a old Gatorade bottle, and just, I told my husband, don't squish them, just put them in the bottle and they'll die. Exactly. We had our first snow the other day. Oh, yes. Oh, believe me, I know exactly what you're talking about. You have 3 seasons: snow, mud, a little bit of summer, and then more snow. Am I right? Am I close? Is it? My husband's Canadian. We used to live up in Canada, so yeah, you had snow, then you had mud. Now, here in Kentucky, we have a lot of mud. Not a lot of snow, but a lot of mud. That is one thing about living in a construction zone, and that's what I'm living in right now, is a construction zone, because nothing is finished. Okay, is that you get mud, you get dust. Trying to keep things clean is like near impossible. It just throw up your hands. I bought from Sojourner recommended a shop vac from Walmart, and it's only missing one thing that I wanted. I can live with it because the price was right, the size was right. So I got a small shop vac, and that's what I've been using to vacuum in my house, because the dust, you know, it's just, and it's not like your normal household kind of dust. It's construction type dust, you know. What's not happening, Becky? Snow? but it's not going too good on my eggplant. Oh, I see. I missed that comment. Sorry about that. Oh, well, is your eggplant just about done? I would think it would be just about done by now. Because we're losing daylight. Got the horses aren't getting fed till like 8 o'clock now. Because I wait until the sun's up to feed the horses and let the birds out. Oh, keeping clean. It's an ongoing battle. It is an ongoing battle. It's like it comes a time when you have to figure out, okay, I can either spend all day cleaning, I'm going to have to do it again the next day, or let it sit for a few days so I can get something else done to finish, so maybe I don't have to clean as much. Yeah. Hey, J-Dogs, how you doing? Welcome to the party. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on. I've been on for almost an hour, and I have honey tied in the barn so that Deeza can eat her hay in peace. Honey's good. She's not the kind of horse that will freak out. She's got a hay net in front of her, and it's a slow feed hay net, so she's got to work at getting the hay out. So she's good. I can leave her tied for a while yet, but still, I don't like leaving her tied for too long. Oh, is it really very small? Oh, that's surprising. Probably because of the drought. I miss J-Dogs. That's another thing. I have been unable to watch a lot of the YouTubers I'm subscribed to, and I've had to pick and choose videos. I haven't been able to watch them all because I've just been so busy. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to show you guys. Drive truck in the off-field, so my life is dust and mud. Yeah, my horse is black, but if you watch a few of my past videos, you'll see he's brown mud. Yeah, yeah. That's the wonderful thing about Honey. She doesn't show the dirt. Her coloring is like, it doesn't matter. She doesn't show the dirt unless she finds a patch of black mud, which we don't have. We have red mud. Yeah, probably. Anyway, I wanted to show you what I took out of the library, and hopefully I can have it finished read before I have to take it back. Hopefully it's reversed on my screen. I don't know if it's reversed on yours, but it's Raising Meat Goats for Profit. This is a good book. It's got, because for one thing, it talks about nutrition, which is what I really need to know, because I haven't raised goats before, so I'm a first-time goater. Oh, thank you. Believe it or not, this was my mother's. Any good places that give a good breakdown of the day-to-day cost of keeping a horse? Honestly, J-Dog, that would depend on your area and the breed of horse, what you do with your horse. There's a lot of variables that go into owning a horse. In my case, I have my own land. Now, my grazing's not great right now, so I've had to put out more hay. See, I don't even try to watch all the new videos that show up in my stream. Yeah, I hear that. Okay, I don't know what message is held for review. I'll have to check. I don't know what it's all about. And I don't even know how to do that on a live stream. Raise your goats and have them bred. There will probably be a buck on this property at some point, possibly $2. Okay. But not right away. Definitely not right away. There's a lot of factors that go into that. Anyways, talking about horses. Yeah, in my case, it's not cost me very much. I have a neighbor friend who trims their hooves, and he does a good job. and he doesn't charge me. It's cheaper here than it is up in New Jersey. And like the last time he bartered, I had to take him someplace, and he trimmed them free. The right now my hay cost is up because my grazing is not great, but hopefully that will change by next year. I'm hoping. But other than that, Honey's got good teeth. Deeza has good teeth, so I didn't have to worry about a dentist this year. But horses need to have their teeth floated periodically, some more so than others. I used to have a horse that she had to have her teeth done every year, and if I could swing it, I had them done twice a year. Okay, and that's just the way she was. Honey, no, I can go a couple of years in between, and she's good. Well, you know what? Yeah, I know. I've had encounters with bucks. Yeah, and there is no way they're going to be on the property unless I have some place where I can handle them. Okay, I'm not going to get in over my head. Believe me. Veterinarian horses are expensive. They can be. Very much so. But it depends. I have Honey is an easy keeper. I don't have to feed her grain. Okay. Deeza, on the other hand, even though she used to be an easy keeper, she's now a senior, and a senior horse will cost you more than most seniors. Let me rephrase that. On occasion, you can find the exception to the rule. But she's the second senior I've had, and yeah, she has to have the feed, even though I'm out of it right now, because the day that the car died, we were going to pick up more feed for her. Well, that didn't happen, so now she's just on hay right now. Yeah, the everything else with a horse, you got to weigh it out, really. Are they a tool? Do you use them? Do you make? In some cases, you can make money with them. Not always. I'm not making a penny off of Honey, except she's providing me with tons of fertilizer. Okay, so that's one benefit from her. The buck smell will taint your meat if raised together. Yeah, I've heard that. That's why I want to have a separate goat pen. Even though the guy that I'm getting my does from, my first does, he runs the bucks with the does full all year. That's what he does. Just because that's what he does doesn't mean that's what I have to do. But the goats I saw, they look good, and I got to get my herd started somehow, and his prices were decent. There was another guy up towards Lexington who I was going to stop and check out some goats. His prices were like twice as much. But he had one, I think, that was papered. That's not a priority for me right now to get a registered goats, because I'm going for Kikos right now. I need to just get my herd up, okay, and then I can work towards getting into some papered. Thanks for stopping by, J-Dogs. Appreciate you stopping by. Will taint your meat if raised together. Yeah, so I will definitely. The idea is to have a separate area for the bucks. Okay, well away. We have another piece of property that's not like connected. I don't know if I'm hearing a vehicle coming up the road or a plane. No, it must be a plane, which is highly unusual. Guineas aren't freaking, so I'm going to ignore it. Yeah. So anyway, the goats, the plan is to have a separate area for bucks. Okay, well away from the does, so I don't have any issues, and well fortified. Okay, you have to. You have to have the appropriate fence for the animals that you're going to be raising. And these particular does that I'm going to be getting, they're raised in electric fence. So that was another plus. So that's why I'm getting them. I will be getting at least 2. Beyond that, it depends on finances. And I told him that. He's got a couple of other options. He has a mixed herd, he has a pure herd, and there's another herd, and I can't remember now they might be a specific mix. That the buck that's in there is a new buck for him. He's a papered Kiko. Nice looking buck. He really is. I would not have him on my property because he was raised as a pet. And so he's a little bit more aggressive at the fence. So I will not ever have that buck on my property. Okay. This guy has been raising goats and he's got the structure for them, but he won't be coming here. One of his offspring, I might consider. Okay. Because he was a nice looking buck and we'll see what he throws. I might even consider a buck from him, but we'll see. Anyways, it is after 9 and I have been on here long enough and I could chit chat all day, but I have got things I have got to get done. I've got to go untie Honey so she can torment Deeza, chase Deeza off her hay. Hopefully Deeza's finished most of her hay. That's why I do it that way. Deeza gets hay loose and Honey gets hay in a hay net. It slows Honey down. So I raised Savannah Nubian for milk and I butchered the little bucks born dirt meat. Butchered the little bucks. Oh, for not dirt. Haha. Butchered the little bucks for not dirt. I'm not sure I'm following it. Thanks for stopping by, Deer Creek. Giddy up, gal. Is Raven's Nature Family Farm, she's still on? I know she's a busy lady too. She's constantly got something going. So yeah, okay. I need to stop chit-chatting. I need to get to work. So I will talk to you all later. Hopefully within the next few days I'll be able to get a video up. Just right now we're concentrating on getting stuff done with this, between the car and getting the guinea coop done, and I got to arrange parent transportation for my son to get to his doctor's appointment tomorrow. So anyway, I'll talk to you all later. At least I haven't forgotten y'all, right? Okay. See y'all.